So AI. I made another post about humanizing in the age of AI, and I think because I got a little taken away with like what I was sharing, I think I needed a part 2 for that for sure because I wanted to speak about voice. So with AI, you're seeing like a lot of people using it for copywriting and captions and anything that requires some type of writing. A lot of people are using, including myself. I use it a lot for caption structuring. I say structuring because what I do is for my captions, I'll say generate captions for these posts that I've designed. So I've designed the posts and then I ask for the captions. And so the captions, they get, spit out however, but it doesn't sound natural most times. Unless Chatty has, I call ChatGPT Chatty, unless Chatty has already like finessed it. Sometimes it's good about it, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it sounds like who is talking? Like it's not me. So you need to keep your AI content within your brand voice. And if you are going to use AI, I would suggest really finessing that and it could work really well. But then always review what it's saying. Don't just copy and paste blindly. We've seen what happens when people do that. It's not good because we've seen a mistake, I mean, big mistakes. Some companies, some big agencies were under fire for somebody in their department just copying and pasting, and then the prompt that was at the end of what was provided by ChatGPT saying, like, would you like me to add this and that? It was included in the copy. So I forgot to delete it. And so I guess I just copy pasted, didn't review what was pasted. And I've caught mistakes. I have caught mistakes from ChatGPT. You can only trust a computer so much, right? It's essentially reviewing everything that's been done in the world and online in its database and then providing an answer. So it's not like it has original thought, you know? Forget that. So my advice is to definitely review your work, review Chatty's work, or whatever AI person thing you use, whatever AI model you use. I would also try to finesse the voice so you could tell ChatGPT, hey, that doesn't sound like me. Could you make it sound more like my brand? And if you spent enough time, like I have, I have folders for different projects for each of my clients and for my own design studio accounts so that every account stays different. Even the bullets, I have programmed ChatGPT to only use a specific bullet style, sub bullet style. So everything, if it forgets to, it uses a regular bullet. I'm like, hey, could you please use my brand bullet? And I could just say brand bullet, it knows exactly what I mean because I've programmed it. And I've trained some of my clients to know how to use it. Like my real estate client, I have shown her how to, she's like, it didn't say that to me. And it's because you have to spend time telling it what you want and then refine that and refine that and refine that. And then you get like something decent. And even then, when you get that piece that's decent, you still want to take a look at what it's giving you and tweak it even further because otherwise you're gonna sound like everybody else. I'm seeing it. I see it all the time. I'm like on social media and I'm just getting tired of it. And because I work with Chatty G so closely, I can tell more than anyone else. Well, I guess anyone else that uses it as much as I do, but the basic human like recognition of patterns and voice and tone can be picked up through text, through captions, through words that are written. So, unless you're trying to like just pump out content and not care about the brand space or like the way the brand's been being perceived or how you sound, meaning like another thing is like if you write your captions one way and then eventually you have to make your way onto camera in person, speak yourself, and you sound nothing like those captions and all the content you've been pumping out, you lose trust. You're losing authority, you're losing that, I guess, yeah, trust and authority, I would say are the biggest hits. But you just look like a liar. Because if you can't speak the way that your captions speak, the way I like to also assess my captions or any content that I pump out and I have crafted through AI is reading it out loud or reading it in my head or reading it and saying like, could I say that like smoothly? Right? Like, in a natural way. Could I say what I just wrote and sound not like a robot? That's like a really good way to assess your captions. And the thing is that now, if you make a mistake in a caption, I think you get brownie points now because now people are like, oh, wait, it's a typo in that. That means she actually or he actually wrote that him or herself. So we all be making typos. I don't know. The thing is, that's where we're at right now. It's kind of weird. But that's just my take, what I do. And, at first I was like, oh, AI, like, I don't want to use it, period. And it helps workflows. It helps workflows. He's like, I say he, but it's actually a female voice in my thing. But so my chatty, she's like my right hand woman, She's almost like my little assistant. It's not like I would say, "Hey, here, do all my work," but she's very helpful. That's where she chatty is in my, and I've been seeing a lot of like, you know, popular YouTubers and social people on social media, whatever, glorifying, automating processes and like certain things that I just don't kind of like at this time. I could change. I don't know. I'm fluid. That like chatty is end all be all, like you should use it or like you're wasting money and time. Like I'm not trying to live like that. I'm just trying to live like chill. I don't want to rely on a robot. If the robot stops working, right? If the robot stops working, does your whole business model collapse at that point? Think about that. You know what I mean? So you're putting all your eggs in like this robotic basket that's like, you know, doing things, but then what happens if that element somehow like the databases go bad or like something breaks? What happens to your business? You can't just rely on that. You can't. For example, me, if let's say AI could not write captions for me and help me with that aspect, and right now I have a client that I do 24 posts a month for, I would have to charge her for the captions because I can write. I know how to write. I'm a good writer. I did really good in English classes, but it would take more time. It would take more time than saying, "Hey, here are the posts. Give me a caption for each with CTAs. Mix up the CT. This is what I say. Mix up CTAs to be either contact us or DM comment, blah blah blah. Like mix them up and make them sound natural and inviting. And I give Chatty all the directives on what to make it sound like, and then just send it to me, and then I take a look at them. I scan through them. If I catch the mistakes, I fix them myself. If it's bigger mistakes where the tone is just off, I'm like, hey, could you try again and make it more so, and then it does it, and that takes a couple of minutes. a couple of minutes. I'm very fast. But if I had to write each and every caption, first of all, I don't know. So this is a real estate client. I don't know everything about real estate. So the client would also have to do more work because she would have to tell me everything. There are certain things that I could say to her like, "Hey, this is your ideas for the month." Um there are certain like law or legal things or like very like intricate things. It's not just lifestyle when it comes to real estate. There's like more, tax incentives and all these little things I have no idea about. Like, and I shouldn't because I'm not a real estate agent. So in that case, the client would have to actually provide that content, that information, and then I would have to pick through it, then make it like this is what we used to do back in the day. Like I grew up on encyclopedias, okay? I went through Britannicas. I went through different types of information hubs. I used to go to the library to do actual research, to find information on things, to then take it. I know how to do this. I didn't grow up like kids these days. Don't get me started on kids these days because they're not growing up with those skill sets. They're growing up with, and I feel bad because let's say, like I said, if there was like some crazy thing where all electronics went dead, like nobody has encyclopedias anymore. I used to want one so bad. Like one of those full like a whole room just for my encyclopedia. That was like a dream. I thought I would have that. And then I was like, yeah, it's gone. Now we have the internet. He's over it. But we have the internet now. So anyway, that's how AI fits into my life. But so yeah, it would be just more work on the client's end, on my end, and then I would just do less, and it would just take more time to do certain things. And so I just I'm not against it. I'm just saying that people need to like just some tips on like how to use it, how not to use it, how not to look silly cuz I see it now and it's easy to spot. So do with that what you will. I'm done rambling.